Hey guys, it's Cody and you're on the channel Cody Tarot. So for today's pick a card, I wanted to do a reading about who is thinking about you. So if you're kind of curious or you have that kind of inkling, sometimes we get like an intuitive hunch that someone is actually thinking about us and we're not quite sure who it is. It's like, who's thinking about me right now? You know, it's like, I know someone is focused on me, but I just don't know who. So this is going to help you decipher who is thinking about you right now. This could be in a romantic sense. This could be, heaven forbid, we don't want someone plotting revenge, but it could be someone like, kind of thinking of you negatively. So whatever's going to come up is going to come up. But it's basically just who is thinking about you. That's the basic premise of this video. So with that said, let's get into the crystals. So I also pulled my rose quartz here. So I'm trying to figure out if there's any love messages coming through, any kind of crushes. Maybe someone has a crush on you too. We'll see. So first we have Lepidolite is our first crystal. So that's this one, Lepidolite. Then we have this pink Kunzite. This is for the second group. Then we have this Amethyst cluster. That is for the third group. And then last we have this piece of rose quartz, and that's going to be for the very last group, group 4. So take all the time you need to pick your crystal, and after that we will get started with the reading. You can pause the video here if you need to. All right, with that said, let's get on with group 1, the Lepidolite stone. Hello, group 1, if you picked the Lepidolite. So it's a different layout here. I have the stone down here this time around. So let's get into your reading. So who is thinking about you? So first, the characteristics of this person. I pulled 2 archetype cards. We're going to combine these to create the person. So we have Judge and Damsel. So if you think of a judge, like in the court of law, they're the ones deciding things. So this person might actually have kind of a higher position of authority or power in your life. They might actually be someone who decides things for you on the regular. But at the same time, they kind of have they want to be rescued. Because we have Damsel also. So they're definitely like this person that's thinking of you, likes to make decisions in your life. They're definitely very focused on deciding what you do with your life, but they also want to be rescued by you. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's interesting. It sounds like a parent, like this is a parent or someone some kind of person thinking about you that you're related to, because sometimes when I get judged, it seems like, that's kind of more like a father figure or something. But we see with the 10 of Pentacles in reverse that this is not someone in your family. This is someone outside your family unit. And at the same time, this could also be a person who is very culturally, how do I put this? Different than you are. Your backgrounds might clash a little bit. That's the best way to put it. That when you guys are kind of viewing each other, this person that's thinking about you a lot, your backgrounds kind of clash. Like where you come from versus where they come from can be very different and often opposing forces, I guess is the best way to put it. We see here, well, that's okay. So with ears wide open, this person's definitely listening to you very, very attentively. This person is definitely taking the time to hear everything you're saying. They really hear and understand and analyze everything that you're saying to them. So this is someone who definitely always listens to you. Like if you're in a group of friends and maybe you're not the type that gets listened to that much, this is the person who always wants to hear your opinion, wants to hear you out, wants to hear what you have to say. They definitely value your advice. Ears wide open just means that this person is very focused in on what you have to say, very attentive to what you have to say. Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. What we have over here just shows me that this person's thinking about you. They kind of want to support you, if that's the best way to put it. It's interesting because they want you to save them from some aspects of themselves, but they're also very like focused on supporting you and making decisions in your life. I definitely get this kind of like fatherly energy. This person might like be kind of like a good father. Like maybe if this person does have children, then they're a good father to their children. You know, they definitely have this kind of like, I'm going to take care of you attitude. How do you know them? What happened between you and them? So Seven of Wands right here, we have a lot of focus on like different backgrounds. So for example, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed and the Seven of Wands upright right here, we see that there was a situation where you or them were in like kind of enemy territory is the best way to put it. But the interaction between you and them was actually amicable. I'm definitely sensing there's like an amicability, like they sense that they're a kindred spirit, even though you're both from different backgrounds. But we definitely see like, you know, you wandered into their territory or they wandered into your territory. And there was this whole idea of, you know, helping the other one out in kind of a new, unfamiliar situation is the best way to put it. We see with the Ace of Swords that although this was an amicable interaction, this person that's thinking about you, there's a lack of clarity in the connection. It's almost as if this situation where, you know, you helped them out or they helped you out, you know, and you realize you're from such different backgrounds, there's a little bit of confusion or chaos. I'm not quite sure what it is. Let me actually pull one more card just to see if I can figure out what the lack of clarity is in this situation. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the lack of clarity is all about like cultural dynamics. So, for example, the lack of clarity could be something along the lines of, you know, you're not sure if you're going to join their group or they're going to join your group. It's like you really like each other and this person really thinks about you a lot, but there's just something off about the viewpoints of the other party or, you know, how you view their party. There's a lack of flow as far as like the group values that you both value. And that's where the kind of confusion comes into plays. You guys would probably benefit from sitting down and talking through your values and talking through the things that kind of like how you want to move in society, right? I'm definitely seeing the, you know, because the Queen of Swords I always see with her outreached hand in the traditional tarot, and the wind blowing in the direction of her hand. She's like showing the way of like how groups think and how the flow of the path or the air is moving. So there's kind of in reverse, it's like this block of flow is the best way to put it. They definitely want to take care of you though. That's like really beautiful right here is the abundant universe will provide. They definitely believe that you guys could have a successful future financially, but there is some like, the reason they think about you a lot is because of this interesting situation where you kind of got them out of hot water, or you got them out of hot water, or they got you out of hot water, and there's that sense of helping where you guys really did help each other. I sense that you guys are still in communication because if Ears Wide Open didn't come up, then I would guess not. But because it did, I'm definitely seeing this fox is like very focused. Like, look at this intense gaze. He's, you know, he's looking at, you know, his person. He's definitely like watching their every move. So they're definitely very curious about you. I would say that they they want to hear everything you have to say. They're very curious about your perspective, and it makes sense because you're kind of like a breath of fresh air from enemy territory, you know? You're that person that came out of left field from an area they didn't expect. They didn't expect loyalty from this certain group of people or type of people, and all of a sudden you came into their life and you're totally different than they expected. So that's why they're always thinking about you, and they're definitely they do have that kind of, they want to make decisions for your life, but at the same time, they want to be rescued, I think, from their own group, if that's the best way to put it. They want to be rescued from their role, I guess is the best way to put it. So that's who's thinking about you. I hope this reading was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this pretty frequently. With that said, I really enjoyed reading for you guys. And it sounds like such an interesting connection. I would definitely say, like, you know, build upon it. I mean, definitely there's that lack of clarity, but I'm sure you guys can figure it out. Yeah, with that said, we're going to move on to group 2. Hello, group 2. Group 2, if you picked the Kunzite. So let's get into your reading. So first, the person that's thinking about you, this is a very interesting thing because the person that's thinking about you, I'm not sensing romance so much. This could be romantic, but this is definitely a person with child, magical, and mentor. This is definitely someone who is kind of approaching you or thinking about you in the realms of like as a spiritual teacher or a spiritual like guidance person. This person definitely with mentor and child magical, we have this interesting like dynamic where, you know, you have a mentor and that's someone who teaches someone, like guides them. And then child magical is kind of like that kind of like, you know, you're youthful and you're developing these like magical gifts. So I'm definitely seeing this as someone who sees a lot of you in them. And we see that again here with Elephant Spirit, learn from the past. We definitely see that this person, like, they see a lot of themselves in you. And that's why they think about you a lot, because they're like, wow, this person is so much like me, or I can help this person so much. There's definitely this idea of like wanting to help you. But here's where it gets a little confusing. And the reason why they're thinking about you and they're probably not like actually talking to you or dealing with you is because we have the land between, right? And this just makes me think of kind of a cross-continent situation. Like there's just some kind of barrier, but instead of like an obstacle in your path, it's almost like there's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's definitely something along the lines of like traveling. Like I'm definitely sensing like there's an issue with like maybe moving towards that person. Like maybe you guys live in different areas of the country or they live in another country or something. But there's just a block. There's a block between you guys. And we see this with the Page of Swords that you guys actually through messaging, and like exchanging ideas, this is why they're thinking about you a lot. So there is almost like an aspect with, especially because these letters flying through the air and this gap of air in between, I'm definitely seeing this person as someone that you communicate with either through text message or some kind of social media app or something like that. But they don't live near you, or there's not a way to like get down with them and practice kind of like these spiritual teachings. It's kind of, you're in a way you feel like once removed. This can also translate as like a fog, like you're trying to communicate with this person, but they're not quite understanding you. So this might be someone who's like, you might get the feeling that they're trying to help you, but you're not really sure like why or how they're helping you. It's not that their intentions are not it's this is going to be the type of person where you know their intentions. But we also see this with the Seven of Cups here, right? And this is where this fog comes into play even more. So if it's not actual distance, it's like this sense of a fog. And the fog just represents like them wanting to get through to you, but there's just like a barrier to communication. So maybe you only hear half of what they're saying, or maybe it seems kind of like fantastical what they're trying to tell you, you know, but they definitely see themselves in you. That's one of the things, and what they think about you a lot is that they want to kind of teach you and help you grow these abilities. You know, they kind of remember when they were young and magical, you know, and not to say, I think you guys are actually on the same age level, but they're just trying to help you, if that's the best way to put it. So they may have gone through some experiences earlier in life that you didn't go through, that you're going through now, and that's kind of what they see in you. Now, there's this whole idea with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, this whole concept of, it's this idea of like wanting to train you kind of like formally, or like give you some kind of like, really sit you down and like have you work on these skills that, you know, that this person wants to, how do I put this? They definitely, with the mentor role, they definitely want to mentor you. And learning from the past is really important here too. So there's definitely this aspect of craftsmanship. So in literally, it could represent not just like kind of like, you know, metaphorical teaching and stuff, but actually developing of a craft could be important. But in what this reading is saying is that is actually getting in the way of the true teaching. There needs to be a bridge of like, if you look at this land right here, it's like floating in the sky. It's this mystical island attached by these two bridges, you know, and if you try to go on just the straight and narrow path, you're going to fall in the middle of this cliff and you're going to get lost. So it's almost like one of those things where it's kind of like warning you that this person that thinks about you, like, yeah, there could be a training in like physical things like craftsmanship or studying or tutoring or any kind of like reality focused exchange of information. But what we're seeing here with child magical and mentor, especially the child magical, is making me think of a more spiritual approach and someone who's more kind of like gonna help you with like different spiritual issues versus someone who's gonna help you with more practical matters. And that's because that's why the Eight of Pentacles is in reverse. Learn from the past. They really feel like they've been there where you are, and they really want to help you, and they're trying to reach out. It's just that this Seven of Cups, this clouds, this kind of cloudedness that's getting in the way. We see clouds right here too. There's just this kind of fog that's getting in the way, and they're trying to reach out to you, and they're definitely thinking about you in that way. And kind of like there's this idea of wanting to help, I guess is the best way to put it. Page of Swords definitely shows me that you guys are messaging. You have messaged them before, whether through text message or like even verbal communication. But this whole ethereal, clouded, like talking is kind of what is getting in the way. Seven of Cups also shows up for me too in reverse when you need to be more grounded. So maybe like if you two got grounded in each other's energy, that there would be a better discussion, but definitely this person just wants to teach you. They're definitely looking to like share their wisdom. I think they really could help you get out of a tricky situation or any tricky situation you're going through right now. They definitely just want to help you. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's it for the reading. With that, I guess I'll end it there. If you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick-a-cards like this pretty frequently. With that said, we'll move on to the next group number 3. Hey, group number 3. 3? Yeah, 3. If you picked the Amethyst, Amethyst cluster. So just looking at this, it's interesting because this is definitely kind of one of those karmic relationships that, needs to be like cycled through, where there needs to be a lesson learned, right? This is going to get tricky. This reading's pretty tricky, so bear with me. Hopefully this makes sense. Yeah, so first let's see, we'll go down here with the tarot cards first. So Eight of Swords just represents that this person that's thinking about you, the reason that you're so appealing to this person and why they keep thinking about you, right, is because they feel like on one hand, you could be a really good partner to them, and on the other hand, they like hate your guts. Like this person thinks about you in this perplexing way because I think they admire you, but at the same time, they're in a way they're trying to manipulate you. If that's kind of like, it sounds mean, but they're not doing it in a mean way. They're basically trying to understand you. They're trying to learn about you. There's some interesting keys to deal with this person that I'm going to bring up, in a little bit. Definitely with the Seven of Swords, that's where we get the manipulation. This is definitely a person who is coming at you from the whole idea of like, not like almost like what can I get from them, but also at the same time, like there's a curiosity, right? With Eight of Wands, this is definitely going to be someone or a relationship that when you're with this person, it's going to feel very like it's on fast forward, right? Like when this person, you meet up with this person, and this is probably how you're going to know this person, is because it's going to feel like a fast forward type of situation. When they kind of like come into your sphere or you come into their sphere, everything feels like it's moving very, very quickly, right? And it's interesting. It's very much like this whole idea of all or nothing, right? This person definitely has this kind of all or nothing mentality, and they're coming at you. They may be trying to manipulate you, but at the same time, in a way, they're trying to free you and free themselves. That's what this willing release is for. And I mean, they have the correct ultimate goal in mind. That's what I'm trying to say here. They don't know how to unlock that ultimate goal, right? They definitely see like a sense of being trapped, right? With the Seven of Swords, I mean, he's stealing things from like a base camp, and it's like this enemy and enemy territory, and he has these swords and he's taking them away, right? And then the Eight of Swords here, we see that there's this trapped mentality, this kind of trap thing. And I think they see you as trapped, and they also feel trapped as well. So the paradox here is that it's going to feel like they're manipulating you. And yes, in a way they are, because they don't really know how to get to this willing release. But that's where you come in, luckily. So if you decide to choose to deal with this person sounds a little tricky, to be honest. I don't know. I guess I probably wouldn't deal with this person, but this person's definitely thinking about you. They're perplexed by you. Guide represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself. An advocate inspires you to put compassion into action. That's going to be really key, what we're going to talk about in a second. But guide just represents that, like, this is a guided interaction by, like, spirit and the universe. And this was meant to happen. This is kind of a karmic thing that needs to be embraced. Over here, we have embrace the in-between, right? And so that's kind of like dealing with this idea of, if someone is like half in, half out of the situation. What we see here, hold on a second. Yeah, okay, so sorry. Because this person's so all or nothing, embrace the in-between is just making you aware that, like, the ultimate, like, goal is going to be not this all or nothing thing, right? They're definitely coming on to you strong. So when they come into your presence or your area, I see that they kind of interact with you kind of frequently. But I mean, that's not going to be the case for some of you, but for most of you, they kind of are coming into your sphere pretty frequently. I don't know if you recognize this, but they feel like they're coming on you pretty strong. They're definitely not giving you their true motives, but the purpose of this interaction is not necessarily for you to understand their true motives, but to create the right distance with this person. This is interesting, this is coming through, because this is just a reading about, like, thinking about a person, but what we're getting here is kind of like a solution on how to deal with them as well. So this person that thinks about you, yeah, they come on you strong. Yeah, they're going to seem to you as, like, kind of manipulative, right? But they're really trying to free you, right? They're trying to get that willing release. Now, the thing is, here's the key to the whole thing. So advocate inspires you to put compassion into action. This is really the key here. So basically being nice to them, treating them with respect, being a good person to them, doing kind things for them. This could range from getting them a gift to, what else? This could just be like a compliment here or there, and being genuine in your compliments, right? It's gonna quote unquote disarm them. They've carried around all these swords or quote unquote all these secrets for so long, that they kind of, manipulate their way and hold on to these different secrets and stuff. But this kind of kindness and compassion, sorry, make sure the camera's still on, is really what's going to disarm them, and it's going to put some distance between you and them. So yeah, they kind of think about you a lot, right? And they come on really strong, and they're kind of probably always in your face. But giving them this kind of kindness, it's going to make them stop and think a little bit. And that is going to create this in-between situation where they don't know what to do, and you have a little more freedom. You have a little more space. You're a little bit more in control. It's interesting that you can be in more control by just being kind to this person, right? And so through that kindness, you kind of create this space and distance between both of you. And that, oddly enough, facilitates what their ultimate goal is to release you both from the constraints of whatever it is in your life that they're seeing in you, and also the relationship. Because I'm definitely seeing this kind of love-hate relationship going on. Kind of like an obsession. It's a karmic relationship, but that is going to be the key. That advocate card is kind of like the lock to the whole situation with this person. But I mean, this is the person that's dealing with you. It seems like they think about you a lot, and they definitely are in your face a lot. It seems like that it's probably hard to, like, handle. I would have a hard time handling someone that's, like, in my face all the time and stuff like that. So, but definitely being nice to them, showing compassion towards them, that's really kind of that thing that's going to make them, like, step back and be like, what? And oddly enough, that distance, that separation, embracing the in-between between both of you is going to create that kind of perfect harmony that relationship needs to break those kind of karmic ties and for both of you to move on with your life. Right? It's kind of this, like, lesson that the universe is throwing at you. Wow. This was like an intense reading. But yeah, this is the person who's thinking about you. Yeah, anyway, so if you like the reading, you can like or comment below. If you really like the reading, you can subscribe to my channel. I post pick a cards like this pretty frequently. With that said, there's one more group. With that said, we're going to move on to group 4. Okay, so this is group 4 if you pick the rose quartz. So let's get into your reading. With this reading in particular, for the most part, I'm picking up like who this person is, but I'm not, with like some of the other piles, I picked up some information on like what, they wanted from you or why they were thinking about you. With this pile, that's not as clear, and we have the smoke and mirrors card here anyway. And so there's kind of this whole idea that it's not really clear what they want with you. It's just that this person's thinking about you. And that's the main message that needs to come across, is that this person's thinking about you. So I'm just going to describe the person, and hopefully that works for you guys, because I wasn't getting any information as far as like what this person wants out of a relationship with you, or what their desires are with you, or why they're thinking about you. They just are thinking about you. It could just be simple affection. I mean, rose quartz is all about just like kind of that kind of nice, affectionate form of love, Okay, so let's get into it. So Princeton, I'm going to read these for you. Romantic charm and potential for power, and the shadow attribute of dilettante is pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. So I definitely think this person is, I wouldn't say a know-it-all, because I'm definitely picking up more of the thing that like they actually know a lot. They know a lot, and they're not really like, they're not like trying to show you everything they know. They're just giving the illusion that they know, that they're very deep, or that they know a lot of information. So it's not like they're like bragging about the information, like, oh, this is this, and I can't believe you didn't know that. So they're not like using knowledge as a weapon. They're kind of using knowledge as a smokescreen. If that's the best way to put it. They're using knowledge as a smokescreen. So they're kind of like alluding that they know more than they actually do. And this person is someone who, has the potential to be a very powerful figure. So you might sense that in them, that, like Prince often comes up for me with someone who has potential. Like it's a person who could like do great things, and you kind of know that they could do great things, but they maybe haven't like utilized their potential yet. So keep that in mind when we're talking about this person. I just realized this is kind of what this person wants with you. Oh, whoa. Okay. Sorry, I'm seeing some other things now. Anyway, so smoke and mirrors just shows that this person is basically mirroring a lot of everything that you do and you say. There's also this idea that when you're dealing with this person, it's going to seem like you're looking in a mirror, or seeing a mirror version of yourself. It's for them at least too. It's like they're looking into a mirror and they see a kindred spirit, right? The smoke is interesting because to me, it represents magic, right? And especially when we have co-create with spirit over here with crow spirit, there's this whole idea of like a magical connection is the best way to put it. We see here with the Ace of Wands, this is just showing me that this connection, this person, I think one of the reasons why they're kind of not, they're thinking about you a lot, but they're maybe not like approaching you or something, is because there's a lack of passion in the relationship, but at the same time, there's also a lack of motivation. There's a lack of like wanting to accomplish a goal. I get this very relaxed energy, and especially with the Six of Cups and Two of Wands, both these cards kind of represent home, like home situations. Six of Cups, more emotional situations, and Two of Wands, more of like career goals and planning and like maybe moving away from the home. But I'm definitely seeing this kind of like hometown vibe. This is someone you've known for a long, long time. This is someone who's been around you a lot, like maybe while you grew up, or, someone from your past, but also someone that, that they see a future with you, or you see a future with them, right? It's just that when you guys are together with this Ace of Wands card, it's like you have a hard time getting your projects off the ground. This person is thinking about you a lot. And with this Rose Quartz, I'm definitely sensing that it's just these kind of like caring vibes. Like this person just thinks about you because they really care about you, And the thing is, I'm also not sensing I'm not sensing like a romantic spark. Interestingly enough, like this could be one of those really old friends that you've always had that kind of like, just thinks about you from time to time because they miss you, you made a big impact on their life, And with the smoke representing the magic and co-create with spirit, I'm definitely seeing this person as someone that you can spiritually connect with. Like you you can share ideas and concepts with this person, you know, and you can sit down and have like a nice philosophical talk, right? You know, you both can kind of like, you know, bat ideas back and forth and kind of just hang out and have a good time. I'm definitely seeing that this is probably a really amiable connection. I guess there's not much more to say about it. Now, if you don't know who this is yet, I would definitely say that this is a person from your past that just really remembers you fondly. Like you were this person to them. You were the person to them that kind of they could just relax with, you know? They saw like a lot of themselves in you and vice versa. You guys kind of like mirrored each other's lives, and that was kind of a magical thing for both of you. Yeah, there was this lack of passion I'm noting, and that was kind of one of those things where you guys couldn't really get both of you get your feet off the ground. But it's definitely like with Two of Wands coming out with Six of Cups, it's definitely a cozy relationship. They remember it being a cozy relationship, and also they also remember it being like comfortable, very comfortable, and they definitely see you as a long-term person in their life. That's why they think of you a lot, is because they think of you as like this long-term friend that they're gonna have like for forever, basically. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that reading. That's the last reading, but if you like the reading, you can like or comment below. Well, I forgot my spiel. I post pick a cards pretty frequently. If you really like the reading and subscribe to my channel, that's what I say. Sorry, this kind of disarmed me. This whole reading kind of just disarmed me because this is such a pure energy. This is someone who really, really just kind of like misses you. You know, even though you might even be with this person or like hanging out with this person, this is definitely like best friend vibes. This is like soul friend. You know, this is that person who's like, you know, that kind of close soul friend, I guess is the best way to put it. Definitely keep this person in your life. I mean, this person's thinking about you because they definitely love you. I mean, this is that rose quartz energy, you know, that really soft, lovely love feeling. Anyway, I'm losing track of myself. Anyway, this was the last pile, so I'm going to end the reading here. Yeah, we're going to end in 3, 2, 1, bye.